Dana White's saying that we're going to have to wait until Jones and Stipe happens in order to get a unified title match. So Aspinall, oh damn it, I'm drawing a blank on his
Tom
name
Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich.
Yes, we're gonna have to. We're gonna get that interim fight, right, just to fill the pay-per-view, get a title fight in the pay-per-view, sell the pay-per-view, all that stuff.
Makes sense.
And then we're gonna have to wait to get the winner of this fight versus Jones and Stipe winner to unify the belt. So does that mean we defend the interim in there? Does that mean that we just go without a heavyweight to fight until Jones Stipe happens and then we do a unification? I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on that piece. And then the second piece is Stipe is kind of bummed that he didn't get the title fight. He says, I don't know why I didn't get picked, which is fine. I understand they have a direction they want to go. I'm okay with that. Every guy in the division is tough. I definitely want to fight the biggest fish, which is Jon Jones. It wasn't my choice. It was theirs. And this was after Dana had said that they would not disrespect Stipe like that. So kind of a whole weird dynamic. Everything just feels off about this one. What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
All right, let's go to the first one.
Okay.
I sent you over this picture of the Stipe Jon Jones on the news. Pull that picture up.
Is this the old one?
Pull that. Yeah. Pull the picture up for John and I to look at.
He can't see it.
Oh, he can't see it. Okay, so hey.
No.
But you saw it though, right, John? Here, you're gonna post it up there, Dave. Really, what it comes down to is, really, what it comes down to is, they've got to get to that fight as soon as possible. They can't afford for the winner of the interim title to fight Jon Jones or to fight Stipe and then have to turn around and then wait another 6 months or 5 months for that person to heal up and have that fight. So it just comes down to the old man photo here. This is the fight we're gonna get by the time Jon Jones is back from his torn what is it, bicep?
Pectoral.
Yeah,
Pectoral tendon.
It's a shitty situation to be in, but this is what we're gonna get when they get back. It's gonna be this fight right here. And so, look, Stipe. I saw pictures of Stipe. Man, he looks good. He looks lean down. It was basically this reminds me of a Tony Habib fight. I mean, I know they got postponed several times, but there was the one that came out with the two of them being old like this. It was pretty funny. But let me go on to the second part real quick. Stipe, the reason why John, actually, I'm gonna have John talk about this. The reason why they don't want Stipe to fight for the interim title. Go ahead, John.
First off, his age.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Okay. At that age, they're looking and saying, you're not the guy that, we can build on. Yes, you have been our champion before. And yes, you have the longest run as the heavyweight champion. And we want to use that to sell a fight. But we don't think that we can continue on selling fights with it and having people excited about it. So first thing is his age.
Yeah, I agree. And the scare part is I think for them is that he'll win the interim title. John's not back when he needs him to be, and he'll just walk away saying, well, I actually kind of won the title before I left. You just weren't ready to fight. Then it starts just causing a little bit of a haze over all that thing. Now, I think that Stipe is not that guy. He would fight if he was 45 years old.
Yeah.
The opportunity to fight Jon Jones and the amount of money he's going to make fighting Jon Jones. And I think that the UFC, because Jon still has a little bit left in the tank, more so than Stipe, they're going to really try to get that fight to happen. So then you can say, well, hey, Jon is now the greatest heavyweight of all time. Because he beat the greatest heavyweight of all. That's what they're going to say. Let's be real. That's what I know, but that's what Dana's going to say. His job, we just talked about, John, follow along.
I know.
We just talked about how Dana's job is to say that all of his guys,
right.
to sell.
Okay.
To sell his promotion.
I don't blame him.
How many times have you heard DC or anyone in the commentary booth go, he's the greatest fighter of all time, or she's the greatest fighter of all time, or this is the greatest fight of all time. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you just said that last fight. Like, what the hell? So, but Jon being who he is and the potential to fight, and only his second fight at heavyweight, beating Stipe, makes him now the greatest fighter of all time, or greatest heavyweight of all time.
I'll give him the greatest. I'll give him the greatest fighter of all time right now, but I can't give him the greatest heavyweight of all time. There's a difference.
Yeah, okay. For all the casuals at home, explain what the difference is.
The difference is you have to be somewhere and do something there that establishes you as that person that was better than everybody else that came before you. That is not an easy thing to do. Now, Jon has done that in the light heavyweight division, no doubt about it. And you take a look at, some of the people that fought in that division, he's walking over a lot of fucking guys that are legends. But Jon deserves it. He's done it. He has walked that walk. He's created that situation that puts him as the greatest light heavyweight to ever fight, possibly the greatest fighter to ever fight. To sit there and put him down, he's the greatest heavyweight that ever fought. He's won one fight at heavyweight. You're not the greatest heavyweight. Sorry. You can't say that. You can say he's the greatest fighter. I'm okay with that. But it just doesn't make sense to say if he beats Stipe, that doesn't make him the greatest heavyweight.
Well, when you're saying the greatest fighter, do you think it's like, I mean, it's hard to say because I think the most dominant, which you and I both agreed on, was Khabib. The most dominant fighter to ever step foot in the cage.
Most dominant fighter every time he stepped in the cage.
Yeah, every time he stepped in the cage was Khabib.
Yeah, I agree.
But then with Jon, how does that make him the greatest fighter then?
Because
of longevity?
Well,
and at the championship level.
At the championship level, the man has had, I want to say 15, 16 championship
15,
fights.
Like Jesus.
15, 16, and he's never lost. Yep.
Yeah.
That right there does.
Bored. Yeah. And I honestly believe the fights that he did that were close, I think he was getting bored.
Yeah.
He'd ran through the division.
No doubt about it.
2 times over. Then you got the young blood coming up. He's like, look, I'm going to go to heavyweight where everyone's old there. A little bit slower, a little bit easier. No wrestling. I can just take him down, control him.
Well,
we're going to see. But look, I think this is going to be a fun fight. I think
this is a great matchup between Aspinall and Pavlovich. I mean, let's be honest. Sergey's got power. He's got that Francis Ngannou, pop. He can put your lights out. Let's just be honest. Aspinall is the better overall fighter as far as the skill set, the tools, the tool chest that he's got, what he can go to. He's the better overall fighter, but he's got to get the fight where he needs it to be to get into that tool set. That's not easy. And we talked with Cain Velasquez, and Cain talked about, let's just say, I did train with Sergey, and he was one of my sparring partners. And let me tell you something. I realized when I was sparring with him, this guy's got something here. That says everything I need to know right there. Okay, that's what I call it. There's the stamp of validation. Donk. It's there. So, this is going to be a great fight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And then the fight that's taking its place, though, is Aspinall and
what?
Who's fighting for the interim title? The interim title
Aspinall
is
and Pavlovich.
Aspinall and Pavlovich. Yeah, these two guys though. But I'm looking at these two guys. Aspinall, can he get this fight to the ground?
That's the question.
He can stand. I feel like he's the faster of the two fighters. Now he shouldn't stand very much. I think he'll be quick. He's quick twitched, and he can get in and get out.
In and out very well.
He could strike right into like some sort of takedown, whether it's a knee tap or it's a body lock, or if he's got to be cautious. He also does not want to be underneath him too much without an active guard. Oof. He's got to be threatening the submissions as much and as fast as possible.
I agree.
Or getting back to his feet. Because if Pavlovich starts raining down the punches, man.
You could not be a heavyweight on your back, accepting shots for very long. One's going to get through, and there's just too much power.
This is true.